Welcome back to the channel, guys. Glad to have you here like always. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a bird that holds a very special place in my heart. Now, as many of you have seen her before in this channel, you already know that her name is Lola. But if you're new to the channel and you don't know who she is, this little bird, I rescued her a little bit over a year ago when her parents abandoned her. Now, both the parents did not want to feed, nor did the society finches, so I had to hand feed her. And in today's video, I'm going to take you in a day in the life of Lola so you can kind of get an idea of how I take care of her, what she does around the house, and why she's away from all of the other birds. Now, the very first thing that we want to do today is get this cage clean. As you can see, this bird loves to make a mess. Now, unfortunately, she's been going through her molt. She just recently finished it. That's why all these feathers are around her cage. So let's get this cage outside, start the cleaning process, and we'll talk a little bit more about Lola and how we take care of her here. Cleaning her cage is very simple. I just take it outside, give it a good spray down with some water, both the cage and the bottom tray, the food cup, and the water tube, and then go back inside and vacuum the floor to get all of these feathers out of the way so that we can clean this area again. Now, if you own red-throat parrot finches, you know that these birds are extremely messy. They love to make a mess, and they will scatter seeds everywhere. They'll throw seeds inside of their water cups. They're just very overall messy birds, but they are very loving birds if you ever do hand tame one. And it can be very difficult to hand tame these birds because unfortunately, not all of them end up like Lola. Although they are very lovely birds, once they are hand tamed, the majority of them can revert back to their wild nature. One of the best ways that I've found to avoid this happening to Lola was ever since I hand tamed her, ever since I started hand feeding her, I never let her interact with other birds. I only kept her outside of the bird room where she can hear them from afar, but she can't see them. So she doesn't have that instinctive fear that these other wild birds have. So just keep that in mind. If you ever want to hand tame a baby bird that you're hand feeding and you don't want it to revert back to its wild state, the best way would be to kind of socialize it with only humans. You don't want it to socialize with any other wild bird or any other bird that is afraid of humans, because unfortunately, once they see that the other birds get scared when you come close to them, she's gonna eventually, or that bird that you hand fed will eventually do the same thing. So the best way would be to keep it away from all the other birds, and that's exactly what I ended up doing with Lola, and this is why she stays so tamed over the year. Lola is released pretty much on a daily basis, and she has access to the whole entire house. She can fly around freely once she's released, but she mainly stays close to this lamp right here or the living room area, where she likes to pretty much watch over me, see what I'm doing, and kind of jump in and interact with me as she pleases. And that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind if you have a bird that's hand tamed. Birds are not really like dogs or maybe other pets that are very cuddly. Although they can be cuddly at times, it's pretty much whenever they choose to. It's not when you want them to be cuddly with you, and that is no exception with Lola. It's pretty much all she does. Unfortunately, there's times where I want to play with her or have her come towards me and she just kind of wants to do her own thing. But on a general basis, if you give them their space and you just give them time, they will eventually open up with you and get closer and closer as you build that trust with them. And that's exactly what I've been able to build over the past year here with Lola. Something cool that I do want to try this season is to eventually isolate another red-throat parrot finch from a clutch and hand feed it so it could be just as tame as Lola, and hopefully it turns out to be a male, because I would like to give Lola the opportunity to not just be a pet but be herself and have the opportunity to mate with a male and experience what it's like to be a normal bird. Since all she pretty much knows is hanging out with me, I do want to give her a buddy to hang out with, and I think that would be a very cool experiment. Not only just for her, but also for myself, because it would allow me to kind of study the species in a different environment. They would be in here inside of the house in a cage, and since both of these birds would be tame, I would be able to get a very close view at their mating rituals, mating behavior, the way that the male builds the nest, once she lays her eggs, when they hatch, how they feed the chicks. and so on. So it is going to be something very cool that I am very interested in giving it a try this season. So if you can, go to the comment sections down below and tell me what you guys think about that idea. If you think it'd be a cool idea, if it'd make for a great video, go ahead and go into the comment sections and let me know your thoughts on that. Lola's diet is very simple. She has the same exact needs as all of the other birds that I keep in the outdoor aviary and in the bird room. She has a regular seed mix diet. Along with that, I like to incorporate a variety of different vegetables and fruits into her diet just to balance it out. And I do offer her some sprouted seeds and the occasional egg food. I don't like to give her too much egg food because I frankly don't want her to get into quote unquote breeding conditions, since there is no male for her to breed with. And I also don't want her to be excessively obese, as many of you know these birds tend to eat a lot. They're gluttons. So parrot finches can become extremely obese if you feed them too much egg food. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the day in the life of Lola and getting a closer look at this silly little bird that is Lola. As you can see, she's here helping me right now to finish another YouTube video, and she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be in a video of her own. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to this channel, as this helps us out and continues to motivate us to make more videos similar to this one. If you've enjoyed the content, remember to also hit the like button. And like always, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we will see each other in the next video. Say bye, Lola.